For many people, having a little one in the house is one of their fondest dreams, but sometimes having a child in the good old-fashioned way just isn't possible. So all this week, we're looking at the ways that people try to have a child. We're calling it Baby Quest. And Carol Costello brings us part 2 in our special series today. This is a real fascinating aspect of this story.
It is. It's becoming like a daddy baby boom out there. I'm not kidding. If you are a single guy and you yearn for fatherhood, there is a way. And a lot of men have found it. Surrogates. It turns out having a baby via surrogate is increasingly popular. The number of men and women using surrogates has quadrupled in 10 years, with men fast taking the lead.
What? I know. You want to keep walking, don't you?
Mama's boy? Forget it. Daddy's rule in Daniel Gurr's world.
Are you okay?
Gurr is just one of many single men opting to have children of their own, on their own. No mom required. It's becoming a daddy baby boom.
Having a biological child was very, very important for me. It's not for everyone, but for me, it just felt like if I was going to do it, that's what I wanted to do.
That's right. Gurr's son is his. He's among a growing number of single men, gay and straight, paying women to carry their children. And it's slowly becoming socially acceptable. Singer Ricky Martin did it. He has twins now. Clay Aiken did it too, with no regrets, telling Entertainment Tonight.
I don't have a problem with diapers, and I don't have a problem with any of that stuff, so nothing bothers me.
The end result is priceless, but expensive. Men can pay well over $100,000 to fertilize a donated egg, then to have it implanted in another woman's womb. It sometimes takes several tries, but it's often the only way for a single man to have a child.
In some ways, in some contexts, there's some suspicion. A man wants to adopt a kid by himself, you know, as though there's some nefarious motive.
Her dress looks really pretty.
Several states either ban or severely restrict adoption by gay individuals and couples. Jeff Walker knows that. He's single and gay. He tried to adopt and failed, so he turned to surrogates, and now he has 2 little girls. His only worry? The lack of a mother figure in their lives.
It's a tough question. I wonder myself. I task myself to make sure that I try to do things that I think a mother would do. I don't know, because I don't have estrogen, what a mother might do in certain circumstances, but I try to be more tactile and to touch more.
Walker's mother and his aunts are often around the girls to make sure they experience a woman's touch. As for how these children will react when they understand how they were born, all of the men say the same thing. It'll be just fine.
I'm going to start telling him the truth even before he understands what the truth is, so that as he grows into it, that'll be the natural progression of what his life was.
Here we go.
Harris, who is single and straight, had 21-month-old Ben through surrogacy.
I thought getting married was the way to go because I did want a family, but having Ben, I really do feel complete now.
These dads agree the process and the often resulting exhausting task of parenthood is worth it.
I can't believe that I wondered if I should do this or not. I can't imagine not having him in my life.
So cute. Now, it is true single parenthood is a lot more stressful, especially if you're strapped for cash, but there is no definitive, objective study that says children raised by single men fare any worse than kids raised in any single-parent home. In other words, dads can be just as nurturing as moms.
Absolutely. You know, father myself, a couple of kids. I know how important it is for men to have a child in the family.
Wouldn't it have been difficult for you, though, as a single father, to, like any single parent, how difficult it is to raise a child?
It wouldn't have been any more difficult than it is for a single mom. It's a challenge for any single parent, and you just got to sort of say that you're going to rise to the challenge and go ahead and do it. But it is interesting how many men are turning to donor egg and then a woman that medical science likes to call a gestational carrier
They do that for specific reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll go through a book and they'll choose a woman who will donate the egg, and then the egg will be fertilized and the embryo implanted in another woman, and she is the carrier, as you said.
Gestational carrier.
And that's for legal purposes as well as emotional purposes, because you don't want the carrier to suddenly want to keep the child.
And there are some states of the nation, like New York, where you can't do that. So these people have to go to other states like Pennsylvania and states like that where they can do it.
That's why it costs upwards of $110,000.
Can be very, very expensive, but you can't put a price tag on children.